On this episode of China Uncensored, some people are dying to get married. Some people die to get married. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Boy, first dates can be a killer, especially when you're dead.
Friend?
But surely that's only the stuff of movies, right? Well, in China, they have a way of making movies into reality. Like a new program to predict crime before it happens, a surveillance network called Skynet, and of course, the tradition of ghost weddings. Now, this is actually an ancient tradition, but in recent years, it's been making a resurrection in Shanxi province. It's considered bad luck if a young man dies before getting married. So earlier this year, a family in Shanxi married their son, 3 years deceased, to the corpse of a woman from a local village. And it was a bargain at only $27,000. I'm not making this up. In fact, that was a discount price because the bride's family felt it was such a good social match. Ghosts can be such snobs about social status. So why are ghost weddings haunting the people of Shanxi again? Well, for one, there's a lot of coal mines in Shanxi. Coal mines in China and survival don't really go together. Kind of like Vegemite and anything else. In other words, there's a lot of eligible dead bachelors who need dead bachelorettes. So many that grave robbing is becoming a thing. According to local police reports, at least 36 female bodies have been stolen from their graves in the past 3 years. This man had his mother's body stolen. If this sounds extreme, it's just the beginning, because this is just one current manifestation of a much larger crisis facing China. Too many men. You may have heard the term leftover women. That's what the Chinese government's supposedly feminist All China Women's Federation calls unmarried women over the age of 27. They wasted time getting an education and now they're too old to find a man. Basically, what they're really saying is, for the love of all that is holy, marry! Marry now! Because China's real problem isn't leftover women, it's leftover men. Decades of the one-child policy plus sex-selective abortion and female infanticide have led to this. There are 22 million more men than women in China, and by 2040, that number could be 40 million. And when state-run party mouthpiece China Daily tries to tell you that this isn't a problem, and uses a cute cartoon to illustrate the point, you just know it's a huge problem. To illustrate, this is the population of New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. This is the number of single men in China with no hope of getting married. These men are referred to as bare branches because they're not adding to the family tree. And they're usually poor, rural, and uneducated. And they also contribute to China's rising problems with prostitution, sex trafficking, violence, and ethnic strife. And apparently, when they die in horrific accidents caused by insanely bad safety conditions in really terrible jobs, they'll still be competing for corpse brides. So what do you think of ghost weddings? And what do you think the gender imbalance means for China's future? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Chappell. See you next time. On this episode of China Uncensored, how would President Donald Trump handle the South China Sea dispute? How would President Hillary Clinton handle the South China Sea dispute?